We want to get a lot of laps, and they're aware that they're underpowered, but they're still out here with the D2 and they're hustling. 18 years old as of yesterday. So, Michael, happy birthday to you. We're glad you're here and can't wait to see you hustle down around the bottom. At least that's what he says his game plan is for when we fire this thing off and get back to racing a little bit later this afternoon.
Several drivers had done it twice. One driver had done it 3 times. Ford Dave Steele, Tom Bigelow, Bobby Quinn,
Checking in right here with Hot Laps Group number 2. Logan Seavey sliding up the track a little bit over in turns 3 and 4. Doubling down on A main events tonight. Pretty excited about that. Cannon McIntosh, quickest out on the track so far. 14.842 in the 08. The driver from Bixby, Oklahoma. When we do get back to A main event racing with what should have been completed last night, the first night of the NOS Energy Drink National Midget Championship, Buddy Kofoid will bring them back to the green flag. The driver from Pengrove, California, was leading at the time of stoppage. And Dayson Pursley had just put a pretty slick move on Thomas Meserol to pick up second place, and Tanner Thorson also had come along for the ride. Windham and Meserol complete your top 5. Kofoid had led all 13 laps of the race up until that point from starting on the outside of the front row. Dayson Pursley slipped back a little bit. Thomas Meserol was one of the movers and shakers, coming from 4th up to 2nd really early on. Then we had a couple yellow flags, cars stopping, rain falling from the sky. And every time Meserol got right back up on the wheel, tried to get it on the restart, and then finally on that last one, it was Dayson Pursley who was able to kind of time it, wait for Meserol to slide up just in between 1 and 2, and Pursley made his move back. Remember, Pursley started last night on the pole position, just didn't get a great start. The initial start was actually waved off. Then they came back. McIntosh timed it on the outside really, really well, got the jump, led all 13 laps as Richie Murray's race report reads. And then Meserol, Windham, Dayson Pursley, all those guys, Thorson, they got back there and just started racing with each other. And it was a really good battle. I think the biggest news from last night, and definitely the biggest, toughest pill to swallow, was Kevin Thomas Jr. leading with 4 laps to go in the B. And he told our Christy Bemis that they thought it was maybe a broken valve spring or something internally inside the engine that went down. And they worked, but they could not get the car to shove off in time to take the green flag in the first main event of the year. And, that's tough. That's tough for anybody. KTJ told us in the offseason he'd spent a lot of time working on his program, trying to get it ready to go. And, that's just life, man. That's just racing. Sometimes you spend all year, you work, you hustle, and then one tiny, small part goes wrong, and you're already behind the 8 ball to start the championship season. But 43 nights of National Midget Championship racing are what make up the 2021 schedule. We're not even done with the first one, if you really think about it. We still have 17 laps to complete in the A feature tonight of last night's. And so KTJ is not going to get to rejoin the field. He will not restart, but hopefully everything's better on that car. He is scheduled to go out in Hot Lap Group number 4 as the green flag flies here on Hot Lap Group number 3. Cannon McIntosh is your quickest driver with a 14.842. From Dawsonville, Georgia, reigning Cup Series champion. There goes Chase Elliott. Oh boy, way up the track goes the 21K. That was Emilio Hoover. He's one of the drivers chasing Rookie of the Year points. We got the chance to talk to him before cars fired off for this one. And, you know, Emilio talked about learning from FloRacing. And, you know, the USAC pit area is filled with really smart and experienced guys. Thomas Nuzzer also one of them. He picked up 2 wins last season. But Emilio told us that one of the biggest benefits he's gotten is just talking with Flea and just learning how Flea went about it when he raced and what Flea's done with other drivers. So Emilio Hoover is somebody that's really just trying to soak up what he can from Team Ripper's lead man, FloRacing. Max McLaughlin, Brenham Crouch, another Rookie of the Year chaser right there. Chase Elliott, Chris Windham, Meserol, Reinbold, and Taylor Reimer joined Emilio Hoover out on track. Windham throws it down, 14-4, 4-4. Windham is your quickest car, but he brings his CBI teammate with him. How about it? Chase Elliott. He comes along for second quick here in Hot Laps. What do you think about that? That's pretty cool. Cannon McIntosh slips down to third. Team fourth quick. Buddy Kofoid, he will restart last night's A feature as the race leader. Taylor Reimer sits sixth so far in Hot Laps. Brenham Crouch is seventh. Emilio Hoover, Logan Seavey, and Hayden Reinbold are your top 10, which means we have one more group of Hot Laps to go here. I think Dylan Silverman is watching live on Flow right now. Dylan's my one of my karaoke buddies at Lenny's in Tulsa. If you don't know about Lenny's, man, I don't want to know. We got Steve Hickson checking in from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Steve, I like the setup, man. Thanks for watching. You kind of got us up on the big screen there. Hope it looks good. Hope it sounds good. Nathan Tostenson. Nathan, I hope I'm saying that right. Watching from Minnesota. Feels like negative 23 with the wind chill. Settled in to watch the broadcast. Man, thanks for watching, Nathan. My younger brother goes to school up in Minnesota. He's at a junior college, and he's up there trying to play baseball when there's not snow all over the field. So he's also very cold right now. I'm not going to say it's as bad as Minnesota, but we're here in Ocala, Florida right now, and let me check out my handy-dandy weather app. It shows 64 degrees, and my phone says it's raining outside right now. I can confirm that. Well, I don't know, Devin, can you confirm? He kind of sprinkles his hand, so, okay, it's a little bit on the windshield. The windshield sprinkled like the donut I had this morning, but, okay, like the 6 donuts I had this morning. But it's cool. It's definitely, I think everybody agrees, 64 degrees in Florida feels a lot colder than 64 degrees in Indiana. Green lights on around the speedway. Mud and dirt and sand start flipping and ripping because we are on track for Hot Laps, group number 4. There's JG, the pride of Ione, California, Mr. Justin Grant. I've gone up and down the road a few times with JG. Man, you want to talk about someone that's committed to the sport? That's him right there. Behind him, the number 5 from Petrie Motorsports, Kevin Thomas Jr., by way of Coleman, Alabama. They're all trying to run down last year's series champion, Chris Windham, 14-4, 4-4. Who else we got on track here in Hot Laps group number 4? Chase Randall from Waco, Texas, with Bush's Chicken on the side. I'll tell you what, don't go over to their pit wearing a Cane's Chicken Fingers hat. That's what I did. Don't go over there talking about Raising Cane's. Jeff Taylor got me that hat in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I almost had Andy Reinbold throwing me down on the ground. I haven't had Bush's Chicken yet. I'd love to. All right, kind of funny. I'll take it. Kind of funny. Hey, but you know what? Taylor looks aren't everything. So I appreciate it. Kevin Thomas Jr., Chase Randall, Jason McDougall, Kaylee Bryson, Dason Pursley, Justin Grant, Austin Barnhill, and Andrew Felker just come off the track from Hot Laps group number 4. So it looks like we're going to push off here for qualifying. This is qualifying for night number 2 because we are going to do our best to get last night's A feature completed. That race has been suspended, kind of like me in middle school, but we're gonna do our best to resume it with 17 laps to go. Hot laps are done. Chris Windham, Big Daddy, last year's NOS Energy Drink National Series champion, getting the job done, 14.444 for car number 89. Jason McDougall jumps up there. Great shot. I love that shot right there because that shows you what it looks like just behind the racetrack. Jeff, our rooftop guy, brings us cool shots all day, all night long, and it's windy up there, so he's anchored down. But that's such a cool shot because that shows you the hectic life that is just behind turns 1 and 2 at every racetrack you go to over the course of the year. This is life down in the pits. They are shoving. They're getting everybody's car up there ready to go. We're ready racing. We're trying to get as deep into the program as we can before the weather comes through. They're shoving Michael Magic off. That looks like the 25 of Logan Seavey. Steve Buckwalter, that's a pair of 25s right there. You put those two together, what do you get? The number 50. Jake Newman making his way up, the 41. I do believe that is one of our home state drivers who we talked to, Oliver Acre from Fort Myers. And cool shot right there. I love that stuff, to get to see what's going on down in the pits. And there's so much action on the track, we can rarely turn around and catch that for you, but I think it's always something to check out. I know our Christy Bemis was down in the pits talking to a few of the team owners. I think she tried to check in with some crew chiefs about what it was like last night when the rain was falling down and the track was changing constantly, and Levi Jones and Kirk Spridgen and these owners and the crew chiefs and the drivers, they're all at the mercy of what the weather does. And, nobody had a trick up their sleeve saying, well, we're going to wait to do this, we're going to go ahead then. They were all sitting out there. Last night we showed you Levi Jones out on the back straightaway, giving him a thumbs up, thumbs down under caution, saying, is the track good? Is it bad? And I think most people watching Flo understand this, but in case you don't, when Levi was out there last night with the thumb up in the air, thumb down, the drivers have one-way communication in their helmets. They can hear Kirk Spridgen, the race director, up in the booth talk to them. It's a one-way setup called a receiver, and Spridge and Race Control can tell these drivers, hey, we're going green this time, I need this car behind this car, so on and so forth. But they don't have a way to communicate back to Race Control, and NOS Energy Drink National Midgets and Sprint cars don't have spotters. There's no car-to-pit communication in this series. So if they want to know the driver's opinion on something, Levi's got to go out there and get it literally with his thumb up and down in the air. So that's Levi over there talking to his dad, Greg, in the back of the infield. They're going over everything. And we're getting ready to go. They're going to start shoving them off here to start qualifying. First car out on the track sounds like the number 98 of Tanner Carrick. Is it? Let's confirm when he gets going. Yes, it is. So here we go. Tanner Carrick working his way off of turns 3 and 4. Real tight corners down here at Bubba Raceway Park. He takes it down into turns 1 and 2. Overcast sky is not an issue. The track looks great right now. Not too heavy. I haven't heard any drivers complaining of it being greasy or anything like that. 14.444 was Chris Windham's best time in hot laps. We're going to see what Tanner Carrick can do here. 14.734 lap number 1. He's going to pick something up here. He looks really good as he gets through 3 and 4 quickly. He's going to come across here and just in time for a 14.660. So Tanner Carrick, first car out on track, lays down a 14.660. Up next will be the 15 FK Rod Ends sponsored Petrie Motorsports entry. Emerson Axum from Franklin, Indiana, gets ready to pick up the green flag and lay down 2 laps of time qualifying here at Bubba Raceway Park. Axum working a little bit higher through 1 and 2, trying to get something going. He's way down on the back straightaway. That's more of the Kevin Thomas Jr. line. Sticking with him perfectly here from the rooftop. He comes off. Let's see what he can do here. 14.383. So Axum's second lap better than Chris Windham's quickest hot lap time. Track's going to do that, get quicker and quicker and quicker as we go on here. Sam Johnson is the next car on track, but as you see him right there, he is slow rolling off the backstretch through 3 and 4, and he's going to take it straight to the infield. Troubles here for the 72 from St. Peters, Missouri, Sam Johnson. Kokomo Joe's on the side of that car. Not going to pick up the green flag, so he should get another shot at it since he did not see the green flag. That means the next car they'll shove out one of Keith Coons Motorsports. Well, Keith Coons with Curb Agajanian Motorsports' cars. They brought a few. 14.383 for Emerson Axum. That's good to put him up to the top. One of our Rookie of the Year chasers, the 01. He comes from Colby, Kansas, driving for KKM. It is Bryant Wiedemann talked to him before Hot Laps. You know, he said he's just excited to be here. He loves the fact that he's going to get to chase national points this year, and he's fighting for Rookie of the Year in a pretty stacked class of drivers. But, you know, Windham comes to it in pretty good equipment here, thanks to Keith Coons Motorsports. Windham's first lap on the board, 14.610, just a little bit under 0.3 of a second off. Emerson Axum here. Wiedemann making his way through 3 and 4 again. Those corners pinched real tight here at Bubba Raceway Park. What does lap number 2 look like for him? He improves to a 14.580. Good lap for Wiedemann, but it's not enough to knock off Emerson Axum with a 14.383. Here comes home state racer out of Fort Myers, Florida, in the number 41. It's Oliver Acre, another Rookie of the Year contender, kicking off his 2021 here at Winter Dirt Games 12. All right, apologies, folks. Getting Race Monitor up and running here. So Emerson Axum on top of the board with a 14.383. Wiedemann is second. Oliver Acre just ran. His best lap was a 15.520. Everybody else down in the 14s, so Acre stays in fourth. Here we go. A winner from 1 year ago in night number 1 of Winter Dirt Games 11, Tanner Thorson. I believe he's going to restart tonight's A-main event. Well, he's going to restart last night's A-main event. Fourth. I believe that's where he's going to line up when this thing goes back to green flag racing. He's on the track right now to lay down some times. First lap, a good one, 14.289. How about lap number 2? Can he improve? He does, 14.281. Hey, you know what? 8 1/1000ths of a second, but it's enough. 14.281 for the driver from Minden, Nevada, Tanner Thorson. But how about this driver? He's going to lead him to the green flag when we resume last night's A feature. It is the 67 of Buddy Kofoid from Pengrove, California. Kofoid, dusting him, coming off of 4. Lap number 1 of 14.287. Wow. Thorson's a 2.81. Kofoid's a 2.87. What can Kofoid do here? He's got to gain 6 1/1000ths of a second at the line. What's he going to do? Race monitor refreshes. No, he slows down to a 5.64. Oh, man. That was close. A 14.287 to a 14.281. Don't tell me NOS Energy Drink National Midgets aren't close. Yeah, the 25 of Buckwalter flies by us. We're in the Flow van, maybe 100 yards from the track, and even we can hear through the walls something is not sounding right on the 25. Wow. Yeah, that thing isn't missing a cylinder. It sounds like they tried to cram 6 or 7 more in there. Not sure what the issue for Buckwalter is here. Lap number 1 for Buck is going to be a 15.387. That keeps him 6th overall. Let's see what he does here. He improves to a 15.154, but along with Oliver Acre, they are above that 15-second bracket, so they will not crack the top 5 here. Just like that, Hot Laps group number 1 is complete. Up next, the 08 of Cannon McIntosh by way of Bixby, Oklahoma, driving for Dave Mack Motorsports. His teammate, Tanner Thorson, on top of the charts right now as we chase down Fathead's Eyewear quick time of the afternoon. Cannon McIntosh, lap number 1, 14.492. It's a good lap. He's about 0.2, just a little bit over 0.2 of a second off his teammate, Tanner Thorson. McIntosh, a 2-time prelim night winner at the Chili Bowl Nationals. What's he got for him here on lap number 2? It's a 14.698. He backs it down by about 0.2 of a second, so McIntosh provisionally stays in the 4th position. Coming up next, number 25 of Logan Seavey from Sutter, California. Seavey picking up the green flag here, making his way around this 3/8 of a mile, banked, D-shaped, very D-shaped clay oval. Seavey's first lap of 14.560. He's going to try and pick it up here a little bit. He's staying pretty tight down to the inside on the back straightaway. Kevin Thomas Jr. talked to us. He says that's the preferred line for himself. He likes to run it like the Cup cars run at Phoenix. Seavey moves up to 4th with an improved lap time of 14.453. So Seavey provisionally on the outside of row number 2. But like I said, folks, we got a lot of cars left to go. Trey Gropp, Lincoln, Nebraska's. He's driving for Team Ripper with Flea Ruzick on the wrenches. Here comes Trey through 3 and 4, trying to get the back end to stick down where he wants it to here. Gropp's first lap, 14.707. He's just searching for grip right now in that thing. He comes off, turns 1 and 2, goes to work on it early, tries to get that thing arced out big, going through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, across the finish line. Gropp will not improve. He slows down, actually, to a 15.134. Gropp stays in the 8th position. Coming up next, we should see the 57K. Troubles here now for Daniel Robinson. So that is both the 72 of Sam Johnson and the 57K of Daniel Robinson, who came off of turns 3 and 4 and did not pick up their green flag due to mechanical issues. Again, we understand they should get one more shot at it. That is assuming they can find out what the issue is. So we leapfrog over Daniel Robinson and we move on to Cade Morton. Morton across the stripe. He sees the green flag. He'll start his 2 laps of qualifying here. Morton goes up a little bit higher in 1 and 2 than we've seen a few cars. He kicks up a little bit of dust, and he's going to make his run down the back straightaway. Just trying to get something solid. A good bank lap right here in the first trip around. Cade Morton good to be comfortably inside the top 10 thanks to a 15 flat, but he's going to work really hard here to crack that 15-second barrier. He hugs the inside line down the back straightaway. Morton hustling, but he pushes up really bad in 3 and 4. Let's see what it does to him here. Yeah, he's going to slow down. He was looking really, really good right until he got to 4, but man, nobody's going to tell you that this track and that end of this track is not technical. Turns 3 and 4 here at Bubba Raceway Park. It's tricky, and you got to work really hard to get that section right. We move now to the 3N from New Berlin, Illinois, Jake Newman. Picking up the green flag here. Remember, Tanner Thorson sitting on top, 14.281. Buddy Kofoid is second. Emerson Axum third. Let's see what Newman can do here. Lap number 1 was a 14.718. What say you here? Up to 8th thanks to 14.687. So Newman improving. Even if it's a little bit, it goes a long way as he goes from 9th to 8th. In case any other cars push him down, hey, that one position is going to help out a lot. Following Jake Newman was going to be the 4M of Michael Magic, the driver from the state of Georgia, Windham, Georgia to be specific, and he's our 3rd car with mechanical issues to not get out and take. He may have picked up the green. Yes, he did. Actually, Magic did see the green flag, so it'll be interesting to see what USAC Race Control allows him to do. Technically, he saw the green flag. Ethan Mitchell looking down in his lap really quick, making sure he put his phone away. So Magic's engine. Trouble. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not Magic. That's actually Ethan Mitchell out of Mooresville, North Carolina, who we're getting the complaints on the noise from. And troubles for Mitchell. Wow. So you wonder, maybe as they shoved the first car that we saw miss the green flag, Sam Johnson in the 72, you wonder if they're all, okay, everybody's pushing out here. So these were your first 2 groups from Hot Laps pushing back up. But that is Sam Johnson. Of Daniel Robinson, and then the 4M of Michael Magic. So that's 3 cars from the first 2 groups of Hot Laps have mechanical issues and either not be able to take the green flag or not even be able to complete their first lap. So interesting. You wonder if it has to do with the thrash of swapping the cars over last night, getting them ready for different track conditions, and then being here earlier today. We were on track at 2:15 earlier than Midgets are probably ever on track. So lots of curveballs being thrown to these drivers and teams to kick off the 2021 season. So as the next group of cars make their way onto the track for qualifying, Christy Bemis spent the afternoon catching up with some of the team owners and mechanics and crew chiefs, talking about specifically what we just touched on, the craziness of last night. So we're going to check in with some of those that Christy caught up with earlier today. First on deck, it looks like Christy talks with Flea Ruzick.
Here with Flea Ruzick, the mechanic and the face behind these 21K cars. Flea, some rain in the forecast last night and a little bit more tonight. What is the setup that you have to put on these cars to make sure that you're prepared for any circumstances?
Man, it's tough on the rain. You know, usually you set up for a dry slick track here, and the rain is no different. I mean, it's slimy, so it's just slimy slick. It's not dry slick. So, but the problem with the slick, the rain, is you're kind of victim of circumstance. You know, when the track does get run in, I mean, everybody's just running wide open around here, and it's tough to pass. Me and KT was talking earlier, and you know, like some of the races last night, there might have been 5 cars passed total. I mean, it's just it's tough to pass. Everybody's wide open, and it's just fast here. So it's the world we live in right now.
And as a mechanic, what was going through your head last night as you watched that racetrack get greasier and greasier?
It just don't be part of the wreck. You know, you don't want to go in the corner and push across the track and cause a bunch of problems. But once we push them out of here, it's out of my hands. You know, it's up to the drivers at that point, and you know, hopefully they do their job.
FloRacing, we're going to get these cars pushed off for engine heat.
Don't be a part of the wreck. That was the strategy last night for Team Ripper, and you know what? I think that's a great strategy, especially when track conditions are as crazy as they were. Flea's a really good dude. I got a chance to meet him yesterday. He's a great friend of Rick Young and Jeff Taylor's, and I'm fortunate enough to spend Midget Chili Bowl Nationals with those guys, and they don't ever stop telling me about how great of a guy Flea is, and I look forward to getting to spend a lot more time with him this season up and down the road as he fields cars in the NOS Energy Drink National Midget Championship. So now we push off with our second half of qualifying in search of the Fatheads Eyewear quick time of the day. Right here, getting ready to go. Next car on track, the 97 of Brenham Crouch out of Lubbock, Texas. He leapfrogged over Max McLaughlin in the Z8. McLaughlin was the next car slated to go, so you wonder, again, if Mechanical Gremlins are just finding a way to get almost everybody here in the pits at Bubba Raceway Park. But we focus now on the 97 of Crouch. He comes off the first lap here, looking for him on the leaderboard to see what the driver from Lubbock, Texas does. Speaking of rookies, he is another one of them. Brenham Crouch's first lap, 15 flat. Can he break into the 14 seconds here? No, backs it off to a 15.350. So Crouch unofficially 10th on the leaderboard with still half of the order to go here. So following Brenham Crouch, we were scheduled to see Chase Elliott, but now it looks like they've got the Z8 of Max McLaughlin fired off and ready to go. So Max, he's been racing some modifieds, pavement, dirt, really being busy this offseason. We talked about seeing him twice last year at Midget Week. Did not have a good showing there, and unfortunately that bad luck continues as engine issues jump up and bite the C8. He is done early here in qualifying. That makes way for the number 84 from Chad Boat Industries, the Napa sponsor. Reigning Cup Series champion coming over from Stock Cars to play with us here in the dirt. It's Chase Elliott, and I talked about it yesterday. He's been nothing but great to work with. No attitude, no ego, just a guy that wants to drive a bunch of different race cars. If you've been keeping up with Chase's busy offseason, you'll know he was at the Chili Bowl Nationals. He was also at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. He's looking good here. Lap 1 in the books, 14.816. That puts Elliott inside the top 10. And remember, the higher up you get, the better, because there's just that chance cars are going to keep bumping you down, farther and farther down. What does Elliott have for him here on lap number 2? How about an advantage? He picks it up 14.664. The advantage is going to come in starting 2 spots higher than he was going to. 8th quick so far here. 14.664. That's very cool to see. Now it's his Chad Boat Industries teammate in the NOS Energy Drink sponsored number 89, last year's NOS Energy Drink National Midget Series champion, the one they call Big Daddy, Chris Windham. First lap good for 4th on the board. 14.445, folks, in hot laps. He was a 14.444. A lot more cars have been on this track since then. It's a little bit more beat up. Let's see what he can do here on lap number 2. He's got to beat Tanner Thorson, and he's not able to. 14.445. I don't know if he laid down 2 identical laps right there, but it looks like he's really, really close. Windham slots in 4th quick behind Emerson Axum, Buddy Kofoid, and Tanner Thorson. Here comes the 7X T-Mez, Thomas Meserol, by way of San Jose, California, driving for RMS. Thomas Meserol, first lap out of the gates, 14.642. Meserol, 8th quick. What does that do to Chase Elliott? That bumps him down a spot. Obviously, Tanner Carrick behind T-Mez in 9th. Meserol off the final corner, 14.642. Can he improve? No. Consistent, but he loses just a tiny bit. He goes from a 6.42 to a 0.685. Meserol stays right where he is at in the 8th position. Behind Meserol, we go from a guy who's been racing for a very long time in T-Mez to someone who is starting their journey here with the NOS Energy Drink National Midgets from Gilbert, Arizona in the 19 AZ, Hayden Reinbold. Hayden made a few races last year with us in the Midget Championship, came to Midget Week, and then I think hit a few races on the West Coast. And you know what? The kid is just hustling. We spent some time talking to him and his teammate Chase Randall. They're getting life advice and driving advice from Rizzy. And that's all I need to say. It's a pretty dangerous combination. Young, impressionable drivers with Rizzy. Where does Hayden line up? 14th quick, 14th after a 14.909. So not bad for Hayden Reinbold. He's learning every single session he goes out on track. Another driver that's learning every time he goes out on track, Emilio Hoover, someone else who is competing for Rookie of the Year points from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma in the 21K for Team Ripper. Another one of Flea's cars here, who he was just hoping wouldn't be in a wreck last night. Here is Emilio Coover. Lap number 2 is going to put Hoover 15th, right behind Hayden Reinbold. Hoover was a 15.259, and that's looking like, Hoover's best lap was a 14.936, last time by 15.2. Whittling it down here, getting to the very end. 21K. Emilio Hoover done on track. Now it's time for the 25K. Another Oklahoma driver, this time by way of Bixby. Miss Taylor Reimer. When she's not driving race cars in the dirt, she is a student at the University of Oklahoma, where she is also a varsity cheerleader. She spent some time talking to us 2 days ago and caught us up on that being the thing she's most passionate about in her life when she's not driving a race car. Doesn't look too bad here on track. Second lap, good for 14.948, but it was her first lap that was a 14.757. So Taylor Reimer just barely outside the top 10, 13th quick. Now into the final group of hot laps, the Petrie Motorsports entry, number 5, Kevin Thomas Jr. Remember, he was leading last night's semi-feature with 4 laps to go when an issue jumped up, bit him in the engine, and he was forced to pull to the infield and retire. He did not make the grid for last night's first A feature of the year. KTJ's first lap of 14.5. What's he do here on lap number 2? 14.537. That's good enough to be 7th on the leaderboards. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars left to go. First of those, the 19A from Waco, Texas, in the Bush's Chicken entry, Chase Randall. Got some time talking with Chase before hot laps began, and he's just another young man that's excited to be here. And I think if you asked him, the world around him is spinning at 500 miles an hour, and he just wants to do his best to get all the advice, do the best he can, and put that 19 in as close to victory lane or in victory lane when possible. Chase Randall, not a bad lap, 14.585. How about it, young man? 9th quick. Cracking the top 10, pushing guys like Timez, Carrick, Chase Elliott down a little bit. That's not too bad for Chase Randall. The field of drivers from Oklahoma is just so impressive, but I guess when you grow up down the street from the Chili Bowl Nationals, you're going to learn how to drive a midget. Here is someone who put on quite a show at the Chili Bowl Nationals last year, and he's trying to put on a show here this weekend at Winter Dirt Games 12. Jason McDougal in the number 4, lap number 1, 14.357. What about it, J-Mac? Can we get a little bit quicker here? 14.3? No, slows it down, 14.481. That's good enough for inside row number 2 if they stay as they are. About 5 cars left to go here. Next up, it is our second female in the field, the number 71, Kaylee Bryson from Muskogee, Oklahoma. I've been saying the Oklahoma towns wrong. I apologize. It's nothing against Okies. You are fine people. I just don't know how to say your town names. It's kind of like the state of Wisconsin. Kaylee Bryson working lap number 2 here. Lap number 1 was a 14.925. Let's see what she can do here in the 71 for KKM off the final corner. Does she improve from 19th? Yes, she does. Jumps up 2 spots thanks to a 14.868. Kaylee Bryson sitting 17th here in the number 71. Hey, we've got another 71 ready to go right now. It's the 71K. He is your pole sitter from last night's halfway completed A main event. Oh, no, and he grabs the berm down there on the inside. He saves it, does a little half spin. Dason Pursley in the 71K. That's not going to help him a lot in lap number 1. He's going to have to hustle here, and that momentum coming off 3 and 4 doesn't help him here on lap number 2. He's right back down there trying to diamond that corner as tight as he can get it. And he does his best to rebound here, but it's going to be the 71 starting right next to each other. 71K of Dason Pursley in 17th. Kaylee Bryson in the 71 for KKM starting 18th. Man, I think what you saw right there with Dason Pursley was the epitome of just trying to diamond that corner as tight as he could get it and just get on the power and fly out through 3 and 4. Justin Grant's doing the same. He's having a bit better luck with it. Driver who finished 2nd to Kyle Larson, the Chili Bowl Nationals, about 3 weeks ago, joining up with RMS for the first time this year. He's contesting the full NOS Energy Drink National Midget Championship for the first time in a few years. He's also running the Triple Crown All 3 championships with USAC 12th quick, nope, 13th quick after lap number 2. JG lays down a 14.663, and that's going to be good enough to put him 13th. So he's going to have some work to do when we get to the heat races a little bit later on. Following JG, it's Austin Barnhill from Wilmington, North Carolina in the Kokomo Joe's 17B. Barnhill off the final corner. What's lap number 1 look like here? You know it's a good weekend when you get to scroll down the race monitor lineup to find out where everybody is. Barnhill was a 15.166 on lap number 1, and he is just not getting those front Hoosiers to hook up the way he wants in 3 and 4, and it shows as he is a 15.375. So Barnhill not happy with that lap. There's no doubt about that. Final car on the schedule to take time. We'll be waiting to see if they get any of those cars that didn't take the green flag back out. But from Carl's Junction, Missouri in the 57A, it's Andrew Felker. Talked about Felker a few times last night. He looks good through 3 and 4 as he's coming off to complete lap number 1 here. Let's see what he's got for him. Felker jumps up to 22nd quick from 31st after first lap. He lays down a 14.932. Car should have a little bit more in it here. He looks solid through 3 and 4. Car doesn't push up on exit. How about across the line? What's he got? 14.983. So Felker staying in the 22nd position. So as it stands right now, they're going to push the rest of those cars back up the hill in turns 1 and 2. And I do believe that qualifying is complete.
The gentleman who is still the track record holder, and he won the opening round a year ago at 7 victories overall for this event.
So that'll do it in qualifying. Fatheads Eyewear quick time in round number 2 here. Going to go to Tanner Thorson, the number 88, thanks to a lap time of 14.281. But look at Kofoid, 2.87, right behind Tanner Thorson. So the 88 and the 67 getting it done here in qualifying. Jason McDougall, 3rd quick. Emerson Axum for Petrie Motorsports, 4th. Chris Windham for CBI, looking good with your Fast 5 rounded out right there. Logan Sevia, 6th. Cannon McIntosh for Dave Mack is 7th. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying to crawl back out of the hole from last night, 8th quick. Bryant Wiedemann, I think he's our quickest rookie in 9th. Chase Randall right behind him, another rookie in the 10th position. A little bit farther back, Team S, Thomas Meserol, 11th. Tanner Carrick, Justin Grant, Chase Elliott, and Jake Newman round out your top 15. Trey Gropp, 16th. Taylor Reimer, 17th. Dason Pursley, Miss Kaylee Bryson, 18th and 19th. And then Max McLaughlin rounding out your top 20. Remember, we've got 31 cars here taking time. Hayden Reinbold, 21st. Andrew Felker in the 57A. We just saw him, 22nd. Emilio Hoover, 23rd. Brenham Crouch, 24th. Cade Morton, 25th. And then Steve Buckwalter, Austin Barnhill, and Oliver Acre were your last cars to take time. Troubles for Michael Magic, Sam Johnson, Daniel Robinson, and Ethan Mitchell. Those cars did not pick up their green flag to lay down a time here in Fatheads Eyewear qualifying. That will do it for now, at least, for the NOS Energy Drink National Midgets. You can see right there, mod lights are on the track, so I believe we're going to go upstairs to Mr. Wesley Outland for the call here with mod lights.